I'd like to ask you to say a few words about your hopes for, and what gives you hope for the future of the country, and then also about for CDFIs and MDIs. What are your hopes for this for the country and for this work that we do?
Yeah, I think, again, the most important thing we can do as a group of CDFIs, MDI, ecosystem participants is to insist and to demonstrate, which you all have through this PPP program, the ability to manage, assets at scale. Just as you mentioned, you're doing multiples of what you did just a year ago. And as you improve your modernization of your technical infrastructure, my guess is you can do multiples again. Well, I know you can. And I think we need to, dissuade the notion that because of the size of the CDFIs and where they bank, that they're actually not a great investment. In fact, it's probably one of the best investments that we can make as a financially driven economy is to invest in this capillary infrastructure in the ways that I talked about: technology, infrastructure, technical assistance, mentoring, et cetera, and providing liquidity. So that would be the first area of hope, because I see the capacity in what you all can do under duress, being COVID. And now it's like, wow, okay, so now let's actually build sustainable infrastructure to drive that all forward. So that'd be kind of point one. In terms of what gives me hope in America, I see what's happening in the streets different than what I saw in the 60s. In the 60s, there was very much a skew to the hue, shall we say, but here I see my kids out there, and it is a much more diverse. It is a streets that are filled with white people being allies with brown people and saying we are all people, and this is unfair for one group of our people, of us Americans, being treated so poorly in the context of justice. Started off as equitable or justice in the streets by police, and now people are realizing the economic, the educational, the healthcare justice imbalance is untenable. And these young people, I'll give them credit, they went straight out there in the street. Now maybe it's because the economy was shut down, etc. That gave the quiet, and maybe it's God's providence again that made it quiet in that context. But they're out there. They didn't sit around and talk about it. They went and did it. And so now it's imperative that our generation does something. We are stewards of assets. We are stewards of companies. We're stewards of thought and institutions. And it's time for us to bend where the dimension and the vector on which we're on more towards the vector that creates a more equal opportunity for all Americans, irrespective of skin color and race, religion, and that, I think, is what gives me hope, that this is a big group of allies out there that I hadn't seen before. They're now saying, I'm recognizing this injustice, it is wrong, and now we have to fix it. So that's what gives me hope, Bill.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to wrap up, Robert. One of the things that gives me hope is that you have chosen to bring your voice to this work and help the rest of the country see what could be if CDFIs were equipped with the tools to help people realize their potential. Thank you so much for sharing your afternoon with us, and look forward to continuing to count you as a part of the CDFI